is Hugenbosen and is Shane Richardson. The lights go out, we go racing. Who gets the best of the start? And Jake Lewis will get the second foot on the peg as they round into turn one, and trying to get round the outside of him as his life partner, and that's Avalon Biddle, and I've got a feeling that she did it. So that was a great start from Av on the MTF Kawasaki.
As she did yesterday, you recall, so a fantastic start from her, and I think she might have done it again, so brilliant to watch. Let's go with racing and Avgas, and she was brilliant off the start. Her reflex was so perfect. Of course, another young lady with her background in motocross, so great to know that she'll have those reflexes in her starting skills.
She looks like she just ran a little bit wide through turn two, through Foster's, and it might have cost her a spot. And I think it might be Jake in the front. We'll have a look when they come just a little bit closer as they work their way into swampy curves here on the extended part of this international circuit.
She's lost more than one. I think she's lost up to 4. You can pick her out in the MTF colours, the bright yellow, and I think she's probably back in a 4th, if not a 5th place. So look for the bright yellow out there for the lovely Avgas, Avalon Biddle, and there she goes in amongst the best. And in fact, here we are.
Yeah, she's gone well back.
Look,
Yeah,
even might be a 6th spot. So looking out for her on the higher Paul hairpin will be the next part of the track to pick up. And I'm just trying to pick up, I don't even think that's the colours. That might be David Hall.
I think that's David Hall on the
Well, how would he do that? He was off the second rope. Well, there must have been something happen. Maybe if she went out wide, the other guys were with her as well. As we come down towards the dip, I think it's going to be David Hall. It looks to be the plain colour scheme of the number 34 from here, so let's look out for this one. Wow, if it is David, that will be fantastic for the man. We know he's a demon starter as well. So
I said I was really impressed with his starts over summer. I think it might have changed. I think it might be Jake as they come up over the top, but we'll have a look. The Triumph maybe leading this one, won the first race. Now, we mentioned it before, 2 or 3 years ago, you wouldn't have seen Triumph in first in the same breath. It is Jake Lewis in the front. In second place, it is David Hall by the look of it, so that's a sensational ride. And maybe Toby Summers has moved his way up there. Yes, he has. Up in the 3rd place. Richardson goes back into 4th. Then Jaden Hassan, Avalon Biddle. I think he picked it, Neil. I think she ran a little bit wide, and there was a bit of a shuffle in that first lap, but it was a sensational start.
Take other people like James Hugenbosen off the front row. Now here he is in 7th place, so something's definitely gone wrong for him as well. So I think it had a bit of a telling fact, but good performance by Jake Lewis, because the number 29, of course, same number as Super Dad Rob used in his heyday of racing. He'd almost been another legend that could have lined up at that dinner, last night. I had so much respect for Rob. He was one of the real doers in our moto scene. Perhaps he wasn't the overseas part of that others were, but what a night last night, and the list goes on. You'll catch them all in your program. I hope you've got one, folks. Only $5. What a program. Get the autographs on the front of it. You'll keep this one for life. This one's going to the pool room, but at the moment it'll be on the lounge table for a little while as you reflect on a fabulous day. 68 pages of the best that you'll find out with this new Moto Fest inaugural event incorporating our NZSBK New Zealand Super
Toby Summers has just run it wide through the high Paul hairpin, and he's dropped a spot, and David Hall should come across the line in 2nd place. We'll have a look at it as they work their way down into the Porsche dipper. Jake Lewis has said goodbye, but there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bikes going at it for 2nd, 3rd through about 8th. So we'll keep an eye on that. They work their way down into the sweeper at the bottom end of the circuit and now start to climb the hill. Toby Summers, I think, he'll be in 2nd place in the Mad Love Media, Carl Cox Motorsport Kawasaki. No, Hall's got back in front of him, so a little bit of a change here, and it looks like Jake is second mix as well. Look at those 5 of them together. Hall down the inside, Summers down the outside as they head down to the off-camber turn number 1. What happened there? Let's have a look as they come out and down the long back straight here under the laser electrical overbridge. It should still be Jake Lewis in the front. It should still be Toby Summers in 2nd place. We'll have a good look at it as they come down into the Foster's turn 2. Lewis is stretching away that advantage now out to 2.3 seconds. It's still Hall by the look of it. Summers through maybe in 4th place now, so maybe Jaden Hassan's picked up a spot, but Shane Richardson has dropped through the field a little bit this time, Neil.
Well, I was talking to Shane last night, and I was saying, how are you feeling? Do you feel like that 3rd place is good enough to build up for the TT? And he really wanted to dilute the TT. He didn't want to put a lot of pressure on himself because he's got America just literally his trip is 8 days away before he's on a plane. So it's more the fact that he just wants the experience, he wants the exposure, he'd love some more sponsorship, he'd love your support to buy a t-shirt today or give to his travel fund, and that's what it's about. But and he's not going to put himself on the line. But I tell you what, he's certainly still a great racer. Take nothing away from him. There's been an awesome replay on Ctas Live for those following it out there in the internet world. We've seen the riders because there's been some sliding sideways and some accidental nudging, and it's been spectacular to watch it on a slow-mo replay, looking superb on Ctas. Hope you're joining it. For those of you out there, live, loud and proud, we're here at Hampton Downs, North Island. New Zealand Moto Fest inaugural event with Mike Pero Real Estate, and a buzz going around with our 600 Supersport. It's high, it's mighty, it's fantastic as we look out for the Pirelli update as they come towards us up the hill for another. Oh, right out on the ripple strip. He's gone far too wide out there, so some work for David Hall. He might have lost the advantage. Toby's trying to get him, but it's a Jake Lewis shot. Here's Toby. Oh, now looking at the Suzuki. The Suzuki trying to squeeze up through the inside. Young Jade might have
gone through it.
Yeah, I think I've got an idea he might have taken that one. He might have moved up, so he's put the pressure on. Nice to catch up before with Nathaniel's Dan, and he's been loaned a bike, young Nathaniel, but it is a complete stocker. It's done. It had absolutely nothing done to it, so it's in no way is it in race prep at all, and he's using it for experience, and he's very pleased with his performance. He's only 1 second off the big boys for his racing on a per lap basis, so well done to Nathaniel using it for experience and getting up with the big guys in 600 racing. But here we are in the bike, and I'll tell you what, there's been numerous ones of those going on in the race, and what that's allowed, here's a good example of it. You break out of the hustle and the bustle, and that's what Jake has done, and it's meant that he is putting on a good performance. The others have actually slowed each other down because there's been the slides, there's been those that have not quite calculated the corner so perfectly, and it really has meant that the other performances are going up and down. So Jake well out in front, biggest margin we've seen in all the 600 racing for the entire season,
and a track record debut, Neil.
Oh yeah, thank you, Phil.
1:37.597. That was his old record. It was only set yesterday, but a 1:38.039. 4.5 seconds the advantage now between Jake Lewis and the rest of the field. The last time we looked, it was David Hall, Toby Summers, Jaden Hassan and Rogan Chandler, but I think Hassan might be moving up through this field. We'll have a look as they work their way down the short chute and down into the sweeper at the top end of the circuit. No doubt about the race winner. That's the Underground Brown Triumph of Jake Lewis, second generation racer. You heard Neil mention his famous father, so he's going to come well and truly in command of this one. 4 laps in the book, and he will do another 1:38.0 is the time there for 1:37.5 I should say. So Jake Lewis goes even quicker. The advantage continues, nearly 6 seconds on the battle for second and third. Rogan Chandler has come from well back in the pack on the Blue Crew Yamaha from Upper Hutt to be second across the stripe, but there's plenty more racing to go here at Hampton Downs. We always knew that the racing in the 600s would be good. They have more than lived up to their advanced billing.
It's as if something had been up for Rogan Chandler, because that's just chalk and cheese compared to yesterday's performance. So well done to the Upper Hutt man. Interestingly, with a new job that I've got, I was working in a supermarket in Wellington just 2 weeks ago, and the young man came along. He's on a building site just down the road, so nice to have a catch up there in the middle of an aisle as other people are wondering what's going on. We're having a great chat about motorcycle sport, so well done to Rogan. Loving your input on our sport, and well done Yamaha New Zealand, Bell Helmets, Pirelli, Godspeed Media, Nationwide, Mum and Dad, of course. Couldn't do it without them lovely parents to be behind a young great man. But that is amazing performance to be up there in second. So first of all, you've got your bolter, Jake Lewis, fantastic ride from the number 29. He's out in front, the Underground Brown pilot, courtesy of 360 Logistics, Underground Brown, Stadium Finance, Stadium Cars, Budget Motorcycles, Spares, Race Supplies, RST Leathers and the like. So a quality team behind a quality rider as Jake Lewis shows us his class. And remembering, he started yesterday 10 points behind. He got, I think, my calculation, 12 points more in the race yesterday over his teammate and previous leader of the points, James Hugenboosem. So now he's just extending this over James Hugenboosem now. This is probably going to give him another dozen. So he could be a very handsome leader at the end of this race with the TT title to come later on, Phil.
Yeah, absolutely right. There's been a bit of a change in the lines by the look of it. So there is Shane Richardson. Looks like he shuffled his way up into second place now. Oh, lots of smoke. Hopefully that was in the pit lane. Yes, it was. So Richardson goes across the line in second. Chandler goes back to third. Then it's Ward Summers, and then it's James Hugenboosem, and then it's Jaden Hassan. Well, we saw swapping like this in the Gixxer Cup, the 150s. Didn't expect it that much in the 600s, but that's exactly what we've got. Save for Jake Lewis. If you took Jake Lewis out of this equation, this would be the most exciting race you've ever seen. But Lewis is now out to an advantage of 6.267 seconds.
And that's taking nothing away from Jake. Because of the fight that's going on amongst those others, and they've been doing almost the brake check and the cornering and the touching. I tell you what, we've rubbed some tyres, we've rubbed some plastic, we've rubbed some leather together as this race has gone on, and it's allowed Jake just to break clear of the pack. He was in front, but he's now been able to get further. I don't expect that margin to increase. I actually expect more the opposite now as we see the likes of Shane and Rogan. They'll put the advantage, the two Wellingtonians, to fight their way back with young David Hall. Toby was right there. He's made that little hiccup and just backed that fraction at this stage, but the Carl Cox Motorsport, Godspeed, wash your your mouth out, Neil. Mad Love Media can get in there as well. So nice to see as we watch out for the racing. I've got lovely wife Kirsten here with me, so I've just made a classic mistake. She's going to give me an arm whack after this one. Hey, and I thoroughly deserve it. It doesn't matter. So there we go. Jake, Shane and Rogan as we look out for them this time. They'll be coming up on this one, Phil. I reckon we're going to see a narrower margin will be my prediction. But
we'll wait and see. 6.2 seconds last time round. There is Jake Lewis. Across the stripe he goes. Now the clock starts to tick. Will it be Shane Richardson? Will it be Rogan Chandler? It'll be Shane Richardson. Then it's Chandler. Then it's Hall. Then it's Summers. And in behind Toby it'll be James Hugenbosen. Has the advantage closed up a fraction. 6.111 seconds this time. So your prediction is bang on. You can breathe again now.
Yes, indeed. But it's not so much about the right or the wrong of it. It's more the fact that you just get the feel of the race. That now those other guys have just got a bigger gap. Whereas before, of course, they were touching, literally. And there was no aggression going on. But to be into the battle, you had to be...
No aggression? It was all aggression, I would say.
Well, it was certainly having to show it rather than an aggression against their opponents. It was, of course, their own aggression to be fighting and giving their best in this great battle. Courtesy of DHL here for the Mike Pero real estate event. And Red Brown Motorcycles at home with branches around the country, but here in Auckland at 299 Great North Road. So neat to have the support of quality business behind a quality package with our Mike Pero Real Estate Moto Fest. This, of course, round number 3 of the NZSBK, the 4th and final round at Bruce McLaren Motorsport Park, Taupo, 2 weeks away, folks. If you've got the bug for road racing, come and join us. We'll be having a great festival of motorcycling there, and well, more as the feature event, of course, of this. Sorry, wrong word to use, but you get the idea. So there we have it with our Super Sport 600 Championship on the line as we go to race it out at the stage. The big one is to be fought out later on today, the New Zealand TT Tourist Trophy titles. So that's where the individual honours will be up for grabs. But Jake Lewis turning Hampton Downs into a winning round, and let alone the fact he was 10 points behind, he was in front by this race, but he's now going to even extend that advantage. Where's Hugenbosen? That's the difference. Way back in 6th place, he's probably going to get a dozen points or more built up over this one.
So Richardson just getting the hit put on by David Hall as well. 6.119. The advantage stays the same. Last lap, 1 to go for Jake Lewis. David Hall, there was a little bit of a shuffle further down through the field because Rogan Chandler, at one stage sitting in 2nd place, is now back in 6th. Jaden Hudson through in 7th, and then Nathaniel Diprose, Avalon Biddle, who at one stage was 2nd, is now back in 9th place. So there is lots of swapping going on here in the final lap of race number 2 for the 600s. Jake Lewis is going to win it. All he's got to do really is slow down now. He's got that much of an advantage, nearly 6 and a bit seconds. But who is going to be second? Is it going to be David Hall? Is it going to be Shane Richardson? James Hugenbosen moves up in that last lap into 4th place, so he's into the mix as well. You're right, Neil, as the gap started to open, they started to go a little bit quicker. That's why we saw the advantages just cut back just a little wee bit. They're on the new part of the circuit now. Lewis is all on his own. He's got nothing to worry about.
Just to come in with a quick notice here, the Star Insurance Bike Show Cruise, your 5-minute call. The Star Insurance Bike Show Cruise, your 5-minute call for the Star Insurance Bike Show Cruise. 5 minutes, guys, for assembly for your event coming up. Star Insurance and the Bike Show Cruise. Thank you.
So Jake Lewis is heading out of the sweeper at the bottom end of the circuit. Let's see what the advantage is going to be. It's going to be 25 points in the bank as he works his way up here now. There he is, the race winner of race number 2, and he's done it easily. He's taken a new lap record in the process. So Jake Lewis gets the maximum 25 points. Who crosses the line in 2nd place? What a brilliant performance from David Hall. Shane Richardson is 3rd, and then James Hugenbosen. What a recovery from James. At one stage, well down through the field, back in 7th or 8th place. In 5th across the line is Toby Summers on the Carl Cox Motorsport Mad Love Media Kawasaki. And then Rogan Chandler at one stage sitting in 2nd place and then shuffling back down through the field to eventually finish in 6th. Behind him, number 14, Jaden Hassan. And behind Jaden, it was Avgas Avalon Biddle on the MTF Kawasaki.